I was watching the movie Forrest Gump recently, and I was thinking about this character, Jenny, in the movie. And Jenny basically was the epitome of what a lot of women do to good guys. And my point would be men do not make a Jenny turn you into a Forrest Gump. And let me explain what I mean by that. In the movie, there were four things she did to that man. From the beginning, number one, she friend zoned him and made it just impossible for him to make any headway with her. He was a little slow, and she kind of treated him like he was a little baby brother when she knew Forrest had feelings for her. Number two was she kept him on ice. She always leaned on him when she was in crisis. Even as a little girl, she would run up the ladder and go into his room and want to be with him because she had an abusive father, and she leaned on him, even though she had no attraction to him. Number three was she spent her best years running the street, having hot girl summers, getting drugged out, banged out by all these different men. And then the final thing was number four. She only came back to him when she was used, abused, and nobody else wanted her. And Forrest Gump kept her. Shoot, we really don't know if that kid was his. But my point is, you do not want to put yourself in a situation like that because that's not real love. See, one of the unfortunate things when it comes to the Jenny type modern woman personality is they spend their best years looking for these guys that are just spontaneous and exciting and have mystery and intrigue. And they pass up the guys that are consistent, that are boring, that are predictable, but will be good partners in life for them, that they can be grounded with. And in the movie, she's just bar hopping, going to drugged out stuff, going to all these different locations, traveling the world, and not giving Forrest the time of day. Forrest would write this woman when he was away at war. This man would always show up to protect her when she was doing jobs where men were putting their hands on her. And I just saw this as something that a lot of young men do, especially for women that they find attractive. They put themselves in compromised situations over and over again, thinking that they will somehow win this woman over. And that's just not the way it works. But Forrest got what he wanted at the end. When Jenny was old, when she had AIDS, when she had a baby that may or may not have been his child, but she said was his, he moved her in. She asked him to marry her. Then he married her, and then she died. And I'm like, wow, I don't want a woman if I got to get her that way. And fellas, you should value yourself enough that you don't want a woman and get her that way. I'm not dealing with that old accept me as I am. If I've known you since we were young and you didn't give me the time of day then, I don't want the time of day now. And this is not to say that all women are like this, but in many situations, men put themselves in these predicaments with women because they have a lust or they really think they're beautiful on the outside. When on the inside, they're selfish, self-centered, worried about things that they could have had with you before, but now after they're used up and abused, they want to come back to you. Don't be that sucker. My basic point to you men is be mindful of the signs that are in front of you. It doesn't matter how attractive a woman is. They all come standard with a vagina. They all come with a body. It's about how the person treats you. And if they didn't give you the time of day when you were actually interested in them and want to come and circle back the block and come to you years later after they've gone through trauma, after they've had babies by other men, after they have just had all kinds of sexual partners, you're devaluing yourself as a man because there's somebody who hasn't gone through all that turmoil that you can tether yourself to and y'all can grow old together and build a real foundation. There's a lot of great women out here, brother, and you don't got to go back and get somebody else's leftovers. There's billions out here. Vagina comes standard too. So keep this in mind. Do not let a Jenny turn you into a Forrest. Think about it.